Elias. So,
Yes,
how was your day?
my day was good, man. Had a day off from work, so happy about that. Been working a lot, so I'm happy to just be able to spend some time, decompressing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, how your day been?
Good. It's been going great.
That's good. How was school?
Um. So my first question is, how'd you get started making music?
So I say like music always been a part of my life. I got started making music seriously when I was like 19. But I started actually producing beats and stuff like that when I was 16. I was using this software called Reason that I still actually use today. That was the very first thing that I learned to use. Um, and I wasn't rapping or anything at first or singing, like I was just making beats. And then as time went on, I got more interested in actually rapping. And yeah, so like now I'm here. Like I, dabbled with recording and
Mm-hmm.
met with a lot of different engineers. I was able to move to Atlanta to do some stuff. And then ultimately I was just like, I want to go ahead and do this.
So
So
my second question is how would how so if it's safe as if you had like a team to like help you make your music, how would you what would be your criteria in hiring them?
um so do you love what you're doing? Like do you love, music? Or whatever type of art. So that could be engineering, that could be doing videos, that could be doing photography, that could be marketing. It's like, are you really locked in on what it is that you're doing? Do you have a passion for it? And secondly, do you actually believe in my sound? And do you believe in like what I could do and how far that I could go? And what are you, willing to put in, or what's the effort that you're willing to put in for us all to succeed? Because if we're going to be a team, it shouldn't just be based off of what I'm doing to make sure that we succeed, but it should be based off of what all of us are doing to succeed to make sure that we get the results that we all want.
That's good. So so like what has been your best selling song you ever made?
My best-selling song that I've made is actually between Semi Trucks and Sly. So I actually I don't have that much music out just yet. I'm actually working on a new EP as we speak. But as far as like my highest selling song, it would have to be between Semi Trucks and Sly. And Semi Trucks specifically, like I've gotten like plays from all over the world. So like I have like a really big following. It's kind of funny. I have a really big all over the country are tapping in. Um and yes, I have to say Semi Trucks and then Slide because I got a video for it. So
Mhm.
that's been pretty cool too. But those would be my two biggest so far.
So so how like so so what made you start to getting into rap music?
What made me start to get into rap music? I think I was always really into music. I've been playing the drums since I was 5. But I would go to North Carolina as a child a lot. And like growing up, my mom wouldn't really let me listen to rap music like that, but my dad would. So we would be going to North Carolina and he would be playing like all of these different groups like Tribe Called Quest, Das Effects, like Most Def, Talib Kweli. He would play Outkast. Like he would play all of these, older rap groups and like rap artists. And I just remember like how it sounded, growing up, and I just loved the sound. So ultimately, The older that I got, I was able to go when we had the old iPods. Like there wasn't no iPod Touch or nothing like that. It was the old iPods. Like I would get on this website called FrostWire, and I would download the entire discography of like a rap group or like a rapper, and I'd just be playing that all throughout. So it probably like my true love for hip hop started um when I was maybe like 5 or 6 years old. And then maybe around like 11, 12, I really just like deep dived into, the genre as a whole. And, that's really when I became a true fan.
Mm. So so when when did you start first recording your first song?
I started recording okay, so do you mean like, when you say first song, do you mean like the first song I ever recorded?
Yes.
Okay, so the first song that I ever recorded, I think it was 2000. It was either 2013 or 2014 when I recorded my very first song. Don't ask me if I remember the name. I don't. But it was just something that I recorded, just playing around, just seeing what I could do. I mean, I never did anything with it because I didn't know how to use my voice yet. My voice is really deep. So like in order for me to like sound like good or make it sound good to other people, I kind of have to raise the pitch of my voice a little bit. But when I first started rapping, I didn't know that. So everything just kind of sound all mumble and jumble. But I say maybe around like 2013, 2014 is when I recorded my very first song.
So so how okay, so how it's been going since you start making music? Did you start like
It's been
making
going
you like
really
making
great.
like your gospel song?
It's actually been going really great. Um, Doing gospel means something completely different for me now because I had heard about gospel music growing up, but I wasn't saved, and I didn't really know. Like I knew about it, but it didn't really mean that much to me. And now doing it is like I kind of found my purpose, you know what I'm saying, and what I'm really supposed to be doing. And it's like this music that I made so far and that I'm currently making is by far the best music that I've ever made. So it's been going like really great. And I'm just thankful that God has, blessed me with this talent and allowed me to get better and better so that I can like share my gift with everybody else, and in some type of way inspire others to maybe want to have a relationship with God as well. So I say doing gospel music has been like, it's been great. It's been pretty good. So I don't have any complaints.
So like did your music like save your life or any way possible?
um you know yes, I say music as a whole kind of has saved my life. It's been a lot of situations that I've gotten myself into or things that I've gone through in life that have um, could have taken a real big toll on me. And music was always consistent, um, in giving me some sort of freedom or allowing me to express myself in a way, or just giving me like a peace of mind to be able to create and not having my mind filled all jumbled and you know so I say music definitely has played a role in saving my life, and the newer music that I've done definitely has as well. Because as funny as it sounds, obviously we're in our bodies and we have to do all the physical acts of making the music and writing the songs and producing. But I feel like God and the Holy Spirit has really led me to do um, what I'm doing now, and it's brought me a different type of peace that I had never experienced before in my life. So I'll say yes. Uh, Music definitely has played a huge role in saving my life. So yeah, that was a great question, man.
So So would you ever would you ever write a book about music, or would you make like a different like an album or something about your music? Something
Yeah, so
that story tell like your music that you make.
I think I definitely would. I think that I need to definitely release more stuff and get to like a higher stature to do that. But I think my experience with music, and just like my creative process and just, how I even view music as a whole, I think I definitely could write a book about that. Because I do feel I have some stories to share and I have insight that other people may not have when it comes to music. And I have some interesting, standpoints and viewpoints, that people could maybe gain inspiration from, or they could probably even, identify themselves with that as well. So,
So so from so you were saying music has been constant in your life ever constant thing in your life ever since you were little.
yeah, so ever since I mean, I have their stories that my grandmother, tells me like that I would be like a little baby and I was humming like melodies and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not going to say that I don't believe it, but I mean, if she said that, like, and she's pretty like adamant about that story, um, I say yeah. So like since I was a baby, I've always been musical, and then starting to like play around on stuff before I actually played the drums, maybe around 3 or 4, to finally playing the drums at 5 years old, and then just letting it take me away. Music has definitely been a part of my life, like since I've been here. Like that's the one thing that I can say is a God-given gift. Without me ever having to practice or anything like that, I just continue to get better and better. So,
And also so where'd you first heard and learn about music in general?
well, I first heard or learned about music in general, like in church. So church is where it started for me. Um, being a part of the children's choir, going to Christian school, and having, I think it was either Wednesdays or Thursdays where we had devotions, and people would come up and sing, or people would, play their instruments or whatever, and this all happened at Cathedral of Faith. So I'd say that's definitely the very first place that I heard of music, and then my aunts, they were really into music. Growing up, like my aunties were into music, and they would, play certain things around me, that they didn't think I probably was listening to, but like I was always listening to some type of music. And uh, I say because I was with them a lot when I was little, so that was that was kind of my first introductions to music. Those were actually my first. So church and being at my Mimi's house with my aunties were like my first introductions to music.
And and um for the viewers that are watching that might actually
Sorry, I'm on the phone. I can call you back.
for the viewers that are watching, can you give us a little like snippet of like your music? Maybe sing us a song?
I Let me see. I could give you a snippet of something. The only thing is I got all my music on my phone, so like I don't really know how that will work, but um I could probably like rap you something. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you want me.
Sure.
All right, so give me a quick second while I rap something for you. So this is a verse that I rapped off of the newest single that I dropped called In Sync. So give me a second and I'm gonna get that done for you. It's just gonna be an acapella. Um,
That's cool.
all right. So all right. God is way more realer than what we think. By 3 times to the sin, I'm always in sync. I was searching for pieces of peace, but not the whole thing. Silly me, I was feeling defeated, 0-16 or 17. Any L I take is just a lesson, cause he blessing me. I can't hear a hater, see a hater, I ain't stressing it. God the only one who showed me favor, so I'm praising him. God the only one who showed me favor, so I'm thanking him. So that's, the hook off of my song In Sync. And
That's
then my
that's
verse, I'll
pretty
rap
that's
that for
pretty
you too.
that's pretty good.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that, man. So I say, people yelling, no cap, really silicone. A lot of skeletons up in your closet. Yeah, you really bold. I've been on the walk with Christ for real faith like a Abednego. Dying to my flesh like every day. It's a process. I know it. I was chosen. Holy Spirit on me like lotion. I know you notice it. He PlayStation controlling it. Prince of Peace never lower than higher level. Like mezzanine. I can tell you some stories when I had turned my back on the king. I was living way too recklessly, but mercy carried me. God, he cardiac arrested me. Battles is pleasantry. Roach infested apartments. I could not depend on no police. Only time I prayed was when I felt Satan was closing in. That's a revolving door. I ain't noticed it. Motionless in my relationships, cause he was waiting for noticing. Exposing my flaws, cause when I pray, I don't bring a facade. God, he changed my life. I'm stuck right in like 2 peas in a pod. He had took some people from my life like cars you call it mods. He had took some people from my life. It's cool. I smile regardless. I cannot participate in strife. It's cool. Let's talk tomorrow. I'm gonna talk to God before I lay and pray. I see tomorrow. So
That's
that's what I got,
that's
man.
that's pretty good.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So 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 like what type of beats you be like using on your music?
So on my beats, I think I'm heavily influenced by like Atlanta producers. So I use a lot of different like I like harder type of beats. So like heavy 808s and drums and a sweet melody to go with it. And then like I like my hi-hats to be really fast because I picture like myself playing the snare drum. I played snare drum in college, so I like to like make my sounds kind of like in that way, but it's heavily influenced by Atlanta because that's just the sound that like I like to make. So I feel like that's something that is kind of new. And in the way that I do it is new for doing gospel rap. So that's more so of like what I like to go into.
That's good. So
Hmm.
so how so like if if you were to collaborate some with someone on like a song, which person would you collaborate with?
If I like any artist,
Any artist.
um, if I could collaborate on a song with any artist, um, that's a good question because it's so many artists out here. Um, I think that if I could make something with like, so I'll go down like some secular artists and like some gospel artists. So number one for me, as far as like gospel, will probably be Ty Tribbett.
That's good.
Yes. So Ty Tribbett would probably be somebody I would want to collab with and like have him get on something that maybe I produced while he's like singing and I'll be rapping. And then if I had like a secular artist I would work with, I would probably have to say I probably have to say J. Cole. I would wanna collab with J. Cole. So
That's good. That's good.
yeah.
So like how's like so what like music what like so would you so if you was gonna make an album cover for like 1 year like out if you was gonna make an album what album cover what kind of use to like
Okay,
help you
so
make that
um
okay.
my album cover would be so for this newer EP that I'm doing, it'd have to be something around like the fish. Like you ever seen like the Jesus fish?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be something around like that. With me maybe being in the picture and the fish kind of like coming through my face or something like that, or it'd probably be me like maybe just like walking on the street or something, looking up to the sky, because it's going to be called Big Faith Volume 2. And another thing I really like too, is like cartoon effects. So I probably want somebody to draw it instead of it just being like a regular picture. So I think that would be pretty sweet.
That's pretty dope. So so like so, say for so like what's your like what's your biggest passion outside of music?
My biggest passion outside of music, um, as far as like something that I like to do,
Hmm.
I like sports a lot. Like I like talking about sports. I'm very into um my basketball team, my favorite basketball player, football team, et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm.
So I say like I have a really huge passion for sports. And I was hoping one day to be able to be in the NBA or something like that, but I wasn't able to. So now I just like to talk about it.
So so would you so if you was to ever like get to a point where you can like make like concerts, what ideal place would you like to perform at like a concert place?
So if I could have an ideal concert, it definitely, so for a smaller venue, I'd probably do a concert at like a museum. I think that would be pretty sweet. Um, and then if I wanted to do a bigger venue, it'd probably be in like a stadium, like with like hundreds and thousands of people. So those would be like two different places I would have. So if I wanted a more intimate setting with not a lot of people, do something at like a museum, around like the art, and just like have a different type of vibe. But then if I wanted like a huge, huge crowd and like rock star status, definitely a football field.
Cool. So like have you ever had your song on the radio played before?
I haven't had my songs on the radio yet. That is my next thing that I'm working on, and I actually feel like I did get an offer to get my song played on the radio. On my first EP, the song Sly, but it was it was certain things about that process that I didn't like, so I decided not to. But I definitely plan to get some of my stuff on the radio with this next EP because I feel like these are could be considered radio ready songs. So I'm definitely, even though it hasn't happened yet, I have no doubt that I'll get on the radio soon.
That's great. That's great. So to wrap this interview, tell tell the people what's going to be your next song where they can check you out and stuff to find your music and stuff.
Okay, so my name is 3500 Dav. That's 3500 DAF. And you can find me on all streaming platforms. I just released a new song, actually November 7th, called In Sync, which is what I previewed for you with the acapella. That's on Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify. Big Faith Volume 1 is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music as well. Literally all the streaming platforms. Those are just some off the top of my head, but all the streaming platforms. And I will be releasing a new single called Too Deep coming up pretty soon. And for any updates, you can follow my Instagram or you can follow my Facebook at the same name, 3500 DAF. That's 3500 DAF once again. And I got a lot of stuff in store. I have more content coming, videos, all of those different things. I don't have a release date for Big Faith Volume 2 yet, but it will definitely be releasing in the early part of 2024. So just make sure that you're staying tuned in for that as well. And also, I just want to say, Glory to God. And thanks to everybody that's already been performing me. And thank you for interviewing me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hope you have a great day.
I hope you do too, man. All right.
All right.
All right. See you later, man.
See you later too. Bye.
Bye.